and you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
Well, now you have Obama being trotted out again to speak to black people and to speak to black men. And the sad part is whenever the Democratic Party has been in trouble, they use Obama to come out and talk to black people. But instead of him coming out to talk to the black man about what's troubling the black man and why he's thinking about why he's talking about not voting for Kamala Harris, he come out and antagonizes us and say that we're not voting for her because she's a woman, as if we're not intelligent enough to read, as if we're not intelligent enough to understand policy. He's not asking us, he's not sitting down with black men and having an intellectual conversation about what it is that's troubling the black man and why the black man doesn't want, a large portion of us no longer wants to support the Democratic Party because they're used to telling us what to do, how to do, and when to do it. We're not allowed to have a voice as opposed to those of the past. We're supposed to just go along with what they're saying. If y'all don't believe me, these people, they try athletes and entertainers out to come and say this.
There's a lot of black men in here, and I don't mean to, not talk to other people, but this is important. Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver on. And we got to make sure we help black men understand that. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
And the funny thing is, they go from respectable basketball players to respectable rappers, talking like this.
What you think about politics? Who you voting for? I don't think about politics. I'm voting for the Kamala, though, because she's a black lady. Damn, that's dumb. You just gonna vote for her because she black? Yeah, I'm gonna vote for her because she black, because a lot of black women have marched and tried to do all kind of to be having this right today, to even reach this level. I want all the young black daughters and of the future to believe they can be the president one day. Damn, but Trump gave us $1,200. Why you not voting for the white man? Well, I don't knock white people or any other race for voting for Trump or whatever reason they got, or whoever, even if you black, vote for whoever you want to vote for. But me, I'm gonna vote for the black lady just because I want to ride for the black lady. She not even black, she Indian. Since when did anybody with any black in them not be black?
The crazy thing is, we have Kamala Harris, who's running for president, who didn't even get nominated. She didn't have to go through the voting process. She was just placed there and put there, right? We have a lot of gripes. President Obama himself didn't even want to vote for her. And didn't even want to give her his nominee. This is the funny part about it. So, we know that Pennsylvania is one of the swing states, and they can actually be one of the states that's responsible for whoever's going to be the president. So a lot of them is crowding Pennsylvania. They're coming in Pennsylvania heavy because Pennsylvania is a very key factor, right? So when he comes there, and again, he comes there to talk to black men, but he's not having a conversation with black men. He's telling us what we should do. He's not asking us what our gripes are. Remember, to the Democratic Party, we're stupid. That's what we're starting to see now. Because he tries his stuff up there in Pittsburgh, and he goes up there and he says this.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Yes. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got help here, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting down?
The sad part is when you guys listen, they're just running game on us, man. And everybody's coming to speak to black men. This is a joke. So they send the athletes up there and the entertainers to come speak to us. Then they trot the former president out there to come speak to us. And our language is saying that, listen, these are people of color, but they're not FBA, they're not African Americans. We need people that actually speak to our language, people that speak to what our issues are. You don't speak to our issues. Listen, we said, she didn't grow up like us. She doesn't come from where we come from. Her father was a professor, big-time professor. Her mother's an Indian. Obama is a mixed race Kenyan and come from the W side. He didn't grow up as an African American. He doesn't share the same experience as us. We allow people to just come say anything. That's not hating. That's me telling the truth. Now, we talk about people like Dr. Amos Wilson, people like Dr. John Henry Clark, people like Fannie Lou Hamer, and my grandfather and my father and all these different people. They're not these people. Obama heritage is not from the soil. But they put these people out in front as if they're representing us, and they're not. And they bring up Dr. King. They bring up Benjamin Hooks and Barbara Johns and all of these people of the past, where they wasn't in those marches. They wasn't even in America at the time. We need people that actually, we need somebody that actually represents us, the so-called colored, the so-called Negro, the so-called African American. You know, we done had all these different names, right? We need somebody that represents us, that comes from our experience, that can speak for us with passion. They don't identify with us. That's why they can push her out there and tell us this is who she is. But then you come when black men are now questioning things, you say, well, we want to talk to black men. This is a slam dunk. No, it's not. We're questioning the policies. We want to know, why are we being gentrified out of communities and you're bringing in immigrants and you got money for immigrants to be in these, for housing in the same communities we being gentrified out of? We're asking these questions. Why are you trying to replace our vote with these people right in front of our faces? But then you say it's clear cut. All of us don't support Trump, but we got legitimate questions that we're asking. So now he tried to come back out here and change the strategy, right, before us. But we're not stupid and say this.
And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble, and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting.
So he goes and talks about the women has been having our backs. And y'all got to learn how to listen. That's actually a slight to the black community and a diss to black men, as if we're not capable of taking care of ourselves. We've been taken care of by our women. No, there's been systems set in place, bipartisan, by the Democratic and the Republican Party, to decimate the black community and to make the black man less than and not being able to be counted on. We already know how policies has been set in place and how federal law never enforced state law since the 1800s of laws that's been on the books that's supposed to protect our people. We know what they've done. So when you get out here and trot this and trot yourself out there and speak this information to educated black men now, we're pushing back. Nobody was in that room to question Obama and say, whoa, wait a minute, Playboy. What are you talking about? Because even in this long and mighty walk, we've had black men on the front line fighting and pushing the race forward. And it's the reason why a lot of black women can go to college. It's the reason why a lot of black women can go into these universities. Yeah, we love Mary Bethune-McLeod and Fannie Lou Hamers and all them, but Shirley Chisholm and all them. But we also had a lot of powerful men on the front line, unapologetic black men, 10 toes down. But it's funny how they just scrape over that. We want to talk to black men as if black men are stupid. Now, I don't support Trump and a lot of his policies. I don't like the judges that Trump has on the federal benches and on the appeals benches. I don't like none of those judges because a lot of them are good old boys. I get it. I understand that. A lot of us shouldn't walk over to the Republicans just say, hey, we're going to give you our vote. We need to walk over as a group and say, dig this head, Trump. You want our vote? This is what we need. You need to fit these criteria. You need to meet these criteria we have, or we ain't rocking with you either. Because the Democratic Party, we've given up our vote for years, and we still don't have a voice. We're still being dictated to and said, I want to talk to the men. You didn't come down and sit down and say, hey, brothers, tell me what your gripes are. Have an intellectual conversations with the brothers. What are the gripes? We hear that you're talking about immigration. Well, let's talk about the immigration policies. Let's talk about where money is being redirected for immigrants. Let's talk about these things. Let's talk about the inflation. Let's talk about laws being set up to protect Asians and LGBT and not the black community. Let's talk about these things. Oh, I forgot. You are an immigrant. You're not from the soil. So you don't represent our plight. You look at us as Americans and we're lazy and because I remember when you went on TV, when you were the president, you called the kids in Baltimore thugs and gangsters. Yeah, Obama, I never forgot that. Right? So now when we're holding in the Democratic Party, see, remember, we haven't been Republicans for years, so I'm not even talking to them people. The Democratic Party is the party we should have every right to ask questions to because we've supported you right or wrong, weak or strong. We supported you when you nominated Joe Biden to be president when we knew he was best friends with Strom Thurmond, a well-known white supremacist that ran for president in 1936. We knew this. We supported you when we knew that he wrote up the 81 crime bill, the 82 crime bill, the 84 crime bill, the 86 crime bill that brought in the 100-to-1 crack law. We supported Joe Biden, right? The 88 crime bill, when the situation with Michael Dukakis and all the tough on crime, Joe Biden was the drug czar. We supported that. We asked questions. We went to the black clergy. We were told to shut up. So now we're voicing our opinion. And it's just so happened that she's running for president now. when you guys wasn't even supporting her. D.L. Hughley and them wasn't even supporting her back then. Now, all of a sudden, because you hate Trump so much, everybody wants to support her. This is a joke. It's a joke. And it's very, very, very disrespectful to black men, because where are the black intellectuals that want to sit down and have an intellectual conversation? Don't send me no goddamn Magic Johnson and a rapper. Send us some black intellectuals that can actually have an intellectual conversation with black men to find out what our actual gripes are with the Democratic Party. And if you're not willing to do that, then we already know what it is. And I'm imploring black men and black sisters that's 10 toes down, that understand what my message is. We have to come together as a group and demand things for ourselves. We're watching our communities be overrun by immigrants from Latin America right in front of our faces. What are our communities going to be in the next 5 years? You keep letting these Democrats run like this. I'm telling y'all better listen to me. Y'all better listen. I'm going to cut this video short right here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And don't come over here with this stupid thing where anything's better than Trump. No, it's not. No, it's not. You better look out the window and pay attention to your community. You better pay attention. Now, again, I don't like the judges that Trump has sitting on his bench, but I also don't like the Democratic Party and what they're doing to black cities across America. You better pay attention, because at some point, they're not even going to need your vote no more. Remember, I love you all. Till the next time. Peace.